the VFA. It's Sunday, you're gonna make your play for the VFA. Today you're gonna fly. It's Sunday for the VFA. It's Sunday, yes Sunday. It's Sunday for the VFA. It's Sunday, yes Sunday. It's Sunday for the VFA.
Now relieving the pressure, gets the ball to Burnett, one of the smallest players on the field. Back to Crichton. Crichton now across towards the centre of the ground, the outer side of the ground, in fact, caught by the wind, and a good mark there to Swan. Port Melbourne kicking with the assistance of, I'd say, about a 4-goal breeze. We'll wait and see at half-time just what that breeze is. Right in towards the centre half-forward position. Waiting behind was Wilkinson, very slow. He's been grabbed. Play on, says the umpire. Across now, and a chance there. And a good play by Rodder. Didn't muck around with that one, and right through for a goal. And so Port Melbourne, 1 goal for, 10 points. Geelong West, 1 straight behind. And they go into attack again. Picked up by Wilkinson. Oh, not a good kick. Great tackle there. Brought to the ground. Kavanagh. Abaya lines up the big sticks now. Right through the middle. And another goal to Port Melbourne. They're on fire at the moment. The conditions here as far as the ground is concerned. Very hot conditions though. Something like 26 degrees at the moment. Spook mark there by the Geelong West defender. Handball to Wilkinson. And it's going to be Doyle now who'll get possession of the ball. But he's quick. Very slow at the moment. Takes his time now, Doyle, right in towards the sticks, and it's through for full points. Port Melbourne's 3rd goal.
Straight end of the ground. Kavanagh's 7th kick coming up. He's played back upfield to Wilkinson, and Wilkinson with the wind behind him. Only about 50 metres out from goal. Should be able to float it up, but he's decided to go for the short pass again. Anderson, who sneaks around that half-forward line, a valuable player for the Port Melbourne side, has possession on a 45-degree angle towards the Fitzroy Street end of the ground. They've been playing 16.5 minutes. He could be the danger player for Port Melbourne, particularly against Geelong West here today as he puts it on its way. And it's another goal up to Port Melbourne to take them to 4-4. Port Melbourne 4-6, 30. Geelong West have the 1 behind on the board. Ruckman move in. This is Tawney, and but getting the knockout was the big fellow in Chadband. Kick goes towards the centre forward position by Swan. Cook goes into the post, and another goal scored by Port.
From Thompson goes to Evans. Evans looks for the short pass into his captain and coach Gary Price. Price just short of centre half forward, kicking right with that wind there. Fred Cook in front has the ball knocked away from him. Good defensive tactics there. Umpire finds a free kick in possession, he says. Harold Martin, how did you feel about that decision?
Oh, very doubtful one there, Rob. I don't agree with the umpire at all there.
So it's Anderson now who will line up the goals for Port Melbourne. Already kicked 1. Graham Anderson. Only about 15 metres out from goal. Right through the middle, and another goal to Port Melbourne. That's their 6th goal. And the crowd certainly enjoying football here today, Phil. West, but it's going to be Port Melbourne defending. Davies gets the ball to the wing position. Almost a mark. Play on, says the umpire. And it'll be Geelong West going through Eddie towards the forward flank position. Cross now to centre half forward. A knock on there gives the chance for the player, the big bloke in Tawney. Screws the ball back towards goal. And there it is, Geelong West's 1st goal for the match.
Torpedo punt kick that's going to travel right over the centre of the ground. Coming in towards the ball there for Geelong West was Scott, and he's gone through towards the centre. And finally Gibson gets it up towards the centre half forward position, and there's Mark Brown. Strong mark by the Geelong West skipper. And he's forward of centre half forward, and I'd say he'd have a pretty decent sort of a chance of putting this one in from here. There's the siren for quarter time. And it's going to be a very, very important kick this for the Geelong West side, as their skipper comes in and kicks it well and kicks it straight, and that's the one that they wanted at this particular stage. So at quarter time, Port Melbourne 6 goals, 642. Geelong West are now 2 goals 2, and that will be 14.
Well, the coach who will be playing here next week will be Harold Martin's side, Coburg, and he's had a good look at these two teams of 10 to to put them into attack as Bryce now gains possession up towards that half-forward line, hit over the head by Doyle. And again we see Geelong West defending, and it comes through Woodard towards the centre, and taking the kick then was Brown to Todd, and Todd on the half-forward line will be the player to line them up. Chad Band was the big fellow of Port Melbourne on the mark, coming with the shot in a moment. As the ball goes on its way here, and it's through for another goal to Geelong West. They move on to 3-2 as against into the hands of Taylor, who couldn't get away. And eventually we see Geelong West clearing right around the half-back line on the stand side of the ground. And a good play then by Nigel Cole. As Cole sends it to Radojevic, and Radojevic coming in, pulls in the mark about 30 metres out from goal right in front. Well, they're playing good pressure here, Geelong West. Radojevic moving out from goal on a lot of occasions, allowing players to drop in behind. The player to drop in then was King, but he's being closely watched by Chadband. Now Radojevic guides it on its way. It's going to be close, this one, but it'll be through. And Geelong
heads towards centre half forward, sets the ball up high. It'll be held up there by a very strong wind. No one can get the mark. Geelong West defending for the moment, getting themselves, well, no, not defending, heading forward, and that's Radojevic coming out and taking the mark. Radojevic at the true centre half forward position, who's kicked 1-1 so far for today. He'd be about 25, maybe 30 metres out from goal, the slightest of angle, and kicking with the wind. Umpire says a goal, Geelong West.
The arm, but couldn't break away. Wilkinson moves in over the top of it. They really threw it out to Tansis to Swan, and Swan now down towards that full forward zone, again looking for Cook, who couldn't get there, but Abaya comes in. What's this? Along the ground, just got it through for full points to Port Melbourne again. That was his second. Port Melbourne move on to 7 goals 7, Geelong West 5 goals 4.
The Port Melbourne player, and he'll take the free kick. Angie Tansis. He's done well since he's come on. Back towards the left forward flank position for Port Melbourne, kicking to the leg side of the ground. A short pass into Fred Cook all by himself, and he'll make no mistake about this one. Under pressure, that's his first goal for the match. Another for Port Melbourne. Thank you, Harold Martin. Stick to your coaching. So the ball now is with Swan across towards centre half forward. Knocked on there by the big man in Tawney. Gets it across to Anderson, takes possession of it, kicks it in towards Fred Cook, makes good position. Fred Cook under a lot of pressure there, immediately handballs across to Doyle, and that's another goal, and very unselfish play by Fred Cook. Good game, despite the difference in scores. Woodard for Geelong West gets a lead, and the mark taken by Gibson. Played 48 games for Geelong West, kicks the ball high into the scoring zone. A chance for Radojevic all by himself. Can he beat the ball? It's a goal! What a sensational goal there. Well, what did you think about that one, Harold?
It was an amazing goal there, Rob. Very rarely you see a ball bounce as far as that. I think Geelong West will be pretty pleased with it.
Let's have a look at it again, Harold. That's Gibson taking the ball. And a beautiful shot there from our camera behind the goal. The players anticipating that, but not anticipating well. And for Gibson, a great goal, and a great goal to Geelong West. Caught with the ball there, brought to the ground, picked up by Anderson, in towards goal. A great opportunist is Anderson, and he's made no mistake about it this time. And another goal to Anderson and Port Melbourne. Well, gee, a series of mistakes there that wouldn't be too popular with the coach.
No, there's no doubt about that, Rob. And Anderson is a real opportunist. He's kicked his third goal, and 2 of them have come from the mistakes by the Geelong West players.
Comes off Hall's hands, he pushes it down towards Rudder. Rudder scoops it back, hoping his teammate backing up there, Kavanagh, can get away with it. He does exactly that, and Kavanagh from the left half-forward flank, left foot towards Fred Cook. Cook then taps it back towards Anderson. Anderson, Cook, on the part of Cook. Anderson puts it through to his 4th then, right on the siren for the half-time interval. Good bit of play there, and a lot of the credit must go to Fred Cook. I was just saying earlier there, Harold Martin, although Fred Cook hasn't scored many goals. If he gets criticised, he'll be able to say to the coach, well, I gave a couple of good ones away.
Yes, well, he was down early, Phil, but he's definitely fought back in that quarter with the assistance of Bayer in particular, up on the forward line, and Graham Anderson. I think Bayer and Anderson and with Cook have been the players why Port Melbourne in front at half-time.
Player to move it away for the Roosters. Woodard looking for the centre position. Comes down towards Swan. He couldn't break away after it came off the hands of Taylor. Back into the centre. And this is Robertson coming up from the centre now towards Cook. Cook falling back. Will do the shepherding. And there it goes through for full points to Port Melbourne. They move on to 12 goals 9. And Geelong West to 6 goals 5. Geelong West kicks it high in the air out towards the half-back line. And moving in was Kavanagh, who couldn't break away with it. Coming around him is Doyle, and Doyle is the player to get it across to Bayer. Bayer now looking for Cook, who props. Behind him was Beaton. Down it comes towards Bryce, fumbling, pushed in the back, Bryce. Well, I thought he was a bit fortunate there, Rex.
Well, let me just say this. I thought the decision was very ordinary indeed. That's all I'm prepared to say. That if the player is not in possession, I don't know what.
Right, well, Bryce now moves in, guides it on its way, and it's through for another goal to Port Melbourne to take them to 13 goals 10 with Geelong West on 6 goals 5.
Move the ball on quickly comes the calls from the coach's box, and that's a poor kick out towards Crichton, but the bounce of the ball doesn't favour him at all as Mick Thompson comes in, sees Evans on his own, with a beautiful long hand pass coming now across towards Davies. Davies once again down towards, it looks like Wilkinson, is it? Yes, it is Wilkinson. Wilkinson's got time to pick it up and kick a goal. That's great play by Port Melbourne, and that's the difference between the sides now as Port Melbourne.
Beaten towards the half-back line, favouring the outer side of the ground, and 2 bites at the cherry. Mark taken by Hall of Port Melbourne. Cook moving around, being met shoulder to shoulder here by Beaton. He goes for the pass this time, and this allows Geelong West to defend as it's passed across in the direction of Cole. Cole now can't get rid of the ball effectively. It's picked up again by Hall. Hall with the shot towards the goals, and there's another big score up to Port Melbourne. They go to 15-13.
There's more than 10 goals in this game. And now the race is on between the 2 sevens, and in front is Gibson, almost brought to the ground. Play on, says the umpire, gets it across there to his teammate in Curran. Curran, a long handball, the opportunity now for Geelong West to score. It's going through, and by the reaction of Beaton, I'd say he's kicked the goal. Second Division semi-final, Oakley, 9 goals, 660. A hopeless case there against Northcote, 16-11, 107. And it's Port Melbourne going into attack again. Fred Cook out in front and takes the mark. Immediately handballs to his teammate. All by himself is Doyle. Oh, he's brought to the ground. Hold it. And the umpire ran up and said that was unnecessary. In fact, I'm almost certain if it had been behind, he would have had another shot for goal. And Cookie on the ground there, not looking too good at all. It's not Cookie. Well, let's have a look at it again. Oh, it's Doyle, of course. Cook gave it to Doyle, and here's Doyle now. Take a close look at this, and you'll see exactly what happened. He kicks the ball. Oh, yes. Yes, a tackle. The arm came across the chest. I thought it may have been higher than that, Rex, but there was nothing really wrong with that.
No, he was committed to do that tackle.
Handball to Scott, over Scott's head, in fact, but he'll get possession now. Takes his time, almost caught there, in towards Radojevic. He leads out. Can he take the mark? Takes one grab at it, and the umpire has paid it. I think he may have paid round the neck there. A free kick, although a toss-up between a kick and a mark. Looks like he paid the free kick. 2 goals, 2 so far. Joe Radojevic, one of the personality players in the VFA, winds it up. Looks like he's lined this one up beautifully, right through the middle. A goal to Geelong West.
We'll be covering the final series each week, right through to the grand final, commencing at 1:45 on Channel 10. Back in it comes once again. Now unable to successfully gain possession as it comes out. Anderson is the player who put it straight into the hands of Delhouse. Delhouse shoots for goal and puts it through for 4 points to take Geelong West.
In the van and picking up nicely for Geelong West is Wilson. He's tackled very, very severely. Wilkinson comes out and gives it to Bryce, but it's on here now. Yes, Wilson is wanting to go on with it. Bryce is in there too. And we'll need some good umpiring there because the umpire has been flawed.
Now, there's a trainer out there hanging on to a player, and trainers should be pretty careful in getting into this. There's one player right underneath them all, and that was Delhouse. And the goal umpires are up there. The goal umpires are trying to keep players away. And there's a shove going on by Robertson to Scott.
There's the player there in Curran. He's not very well at all, unfortunately. He's not very well at all.
Well, Harold Martin, you describe it as you see it going, because you've been in these.
I think Shane Doyle got a little bit frustrated there, Phil, and he was a main instigator there, and I think it was just snowballed. And not at this stage of the game, Port Melbourne shouldn't be doing this, because they've got finals to play, and a report could put them out of business.
As the ball goes down towards the forward pocket area, Scott picked it up and gives it across towards Beaton. Beaton does it very, very well, and he's backed up nicely there by Curran. By gee, this game's starting to hot up now as Rodder comes out. Rodder to Cook, and Cook goes bang. Thank you very much. Davis kicks it down towards Shane Doyle at centre-half forward. Doyle's been paid the free kick. He's looking for 15 metres, but he's starting to get into the academy area now and wants to get on with the game as Fred Cook is starting to scream for the ball, and he's kicked it well, and he's kicked a goal. What a great goal by Shane Doyle. Oh, that's his fourth goal, Shane Doyle.
It's Dalhouse. Dalhouse, the man on the mark, and it's Doyle who almost takes the mark. Play on, says the umpire, as Anderson takes it now. Kicks the ball back, screws it back in towards goal. It's going to be close. What a beautiful goal by Anderson for Port Melbourne. That's his...
Just falls over. Tawney has played pretty well in the rough and tough business, but finally he's picked up by Curran and gone across towards Woodard. And Woodard goes in towards centre-half forward and finds Mark Brown. Mark Brown in turn kicks it across to Lee Crichton, and the Geelong West vice-captain now playing at centre-half forward in the second half. He's going to line up the goals from about 50 metres out on a 45-degree angle. You can have a look there at the view from behind the goals. He's going to have to allow plenty of latitude for the breeze as we see the ball coming in nicely. It's not a bad sort of a kick at this stage. It's been marked right on the boundary line for mine. No, the goal umpire says no. And through goes Geelong West's 10th goal, right on the siren for three-quarter time. So three-quarter time, Port Melbourne, 19-17, 131, leading Geelong West 10-8.
As though he's been enjoying himself in the country.
And you'll notice the little baby that he's carrying has got number 14 on the back too, Phil.
All right, we'll be back after this break.
As Phil said in the third quarter, all the fire gone out of the game and Port Melbourne really on top. Hall versus Crichton. This time Hall gets it down towards Frank Johnson. Coming through is Burnett with the ball. Gathers it nicely and sees Mark Brown on his own. The kid Mark Brown can line up and kick a goal. That's the lift that they needed.
The knockout, but it's taken away, or tried to take it away, was Gibson. Tackled nicely by Wilkinson, and it'll be a ball up. Well, Geelong West plugging away there in a young side, and they've done a creditable job to get to the final series. And in the main, it's been experience that has been lacking with them, although I feel that they are rather a small side. It comes down towards Wilkinson, and Wilkinson from the stand side of the ground, up towards the half-forward line. It comes down to Kavanagh. Kavanagh runs in towards the open goal, and there it is. Port Melbourne go to 20 goals, 17. Geelong West on 12 goals. But he's back anyway. He's limping, so it looks as though he... has a thigh problem by the way he was moving then. He's got the chance to have the ball passed to him, but Gibson now has decided to go for the shot for goal, and he's put it through for full points. So Geelong West still plugging away, but time will beat them if they're able to continue at the pace they are. Geelong 9, Port Melbourne 20 goals, 18. That's
Bayer on the mark. Crans directs play towards the centre of the ground. You see Gibson there. Gibson knocks it down to Wilson. Wilson gets past his opponent, drives it in towards the full forward position. Oh, Radojevic edges out his opponent beautifully, but Kansas is there. Oh, Brown eludes Kansas, drops it onto his boot, and a very clever goal to Brown.
right, Rob. And here it comes back in towards the centre. Glenn Evans is the player pursuing the ball now, getting a little shove from Gibson. But it's Evans now, doing it well. Goes downfield, bangs it goal, and there it is. Through for another one to the Burrows. They're 21-18 to 14-10.
But they're going to get out of it all right and get out towards Hall. And Hall towards Kavanagh is good play, and here's Wilkinson's on his own in towards the centre-half forward position. Wilkinson will play on if the umpire's not in the road. Frank Johnson comes down and kicks a goal. That's how easy it is for Port Melbourne at the moment. They're doing it on the bit.
Go go to King, through King's hands, but Curran will get Geelong West out of trouble. In fact, it's on the wing position, and a chance now for them to go forward through Gibson. Gibson looks for the hand pass from Burnett. Burnett now lines up the big sticks in towards goal. The umpire moves across and says 4 points to the Roosters. A badly needed goal. 10 minutes. Burnett will have the chance again, but Wilkinson takes it away from him. Or weaves his way around two opponents, goes for a bounce. This is confidence for you. Might even take another one. No, he gets his kick to the full forward position. Fred Cook out in front. The ball knocked down by Beaton. Oh, brought to the ground. A good flying tackle there by Cook. Abaya takes the ball, screws it back towards the goal umpire, and the umpire puts up 2 fingers. It's a goal to Port Melbourne.
I would ask VFA supporters to support the VFA next week. All this activity commences at 10 a.m. and you've got the barbecues and entertainment right through the day.
I think we all endorse that, Phil.
Okay, play goes on as we have opening hour. Still down as Cook takes the shot for goal, and Cook has put it through for another one to Port Melbourne. He's kicked 3. So Port Melbourne now move on to 24-20 with Geelong West on 15-12.
Forward after half-time, kicks it towards Gibson, and Gibson takes the mark and sees his team player in Taylor there on his own. Taylor across to Tawney. Tawney's got a chance of putting through a goal from around about 25 metres out on a 45-degree angle. All but over this game at the Junction Oval, 32.5 minutes into the final term. And Tawney, the big lion-hearted Geelong West ruckman, pops it through the middle for Geelong West's 16th goal. 16 goals, 12, 108 Geelong West now. The Port Melbourne 24-20, 164. Well, as I said, all but over this game, but Port Melbourne have done it pretty well, but the inexperienced Geelong West side must take a pat on the back because they've really put in here this afternoon. Vic kicks it in towards centre-half forward, but there's Glenn Robertson taking the ball and kicking it out towards Swan on the centre wing position. Here's a loose player, and it's Wilkinson. Wilkinson has all day to get it up and kick it to Kavanagh. Kavanagh can go in and kick a goal just as easy as I'm saying, but he decides to hand pass it to Fred Cook, and that's Fred Cook's 4th goal. They're doing it very easily, Port Melbourne now. 25 goals, 20, 170 Port Melbourne. Geelong West 16-12, 108.
The game here today because probably they'll have to come up against Port Melbourne. It depends what happens next week, of course, and they're playing the side on top in Preston. And Coburg defeated Port Melbourne last week, and obviously Harold would have marked out many moves here today. Counter moves to the Port Melbourne side. All right, there's the siren for the end of the match. And the final scores, we have Port Melbourne 25-20, a total of 170 on the board, as against Geelong West 16-12, a total of 108. That is something. It's been great to be associated with statewide today too, and Graham Flack in there. Also, the best player of the day was Shane Doyle. Now, Rob Asper is down in the Port Melbourne dressing room, so over to you, Rob.
Thanks very much, Phil. We have with us Gary Bryce. Well, Gary, how do you feel after such a big win?
Well, I feel really relieved.
It was a good effort.
That's, I guess the main emotion I feel at the moment. There's been a bit of pressure on us. I was very happy with the way the boys went about it today, but while I'm on that, I must congratulate Gary Hamer and the boys from Geelong West, because when you have a look at their side and the age of the side, very young side, very few of them have had finals experience, and I think Gary's done an excellent job to get them up there. They were written off at the beginning of the year as going to be one of the also-ran teams. I think it's a credit to him and to the players at Geelong West to get where they have, get to the first semi-final.
That's a very sporting attitude. Actually, at half-time, I went in to have a brief listen to Gary. I was very impressed with him as a coach. In fact, all the finals coaches this year, well, you've got to be pretty good to get to the finals, don't you?
Yeah, I think I've seen him operate, and I've seen the way that the players, when I had dealings with the interstate players from Geelong West, they have a very high regard for him. And I think that he's really the reason why they've got where they have now, and I think next year really looks good for them.
Well, your fans are pretty happy. I see someone just having a nice drink of beer behind us there.
I might have one with him later.
Yeah, listen, it was pretty hot out there today, Gary. That's a silly question,
yeah,
but
were they
trying conditions?
They were, and I think you saw that later in the game, both sides really tired visibly. I think you could see that. It's really the first time we've had to play under these hot conditions.
Tempers flared there a little bit. What happened? I thought you were going to become a barber there at one stage.
Yes, well, I just checked the length of Laurie's hair. I thought I said it's about time he had a haircut. And
then someone checked the length of your
hair.
hair.
I said mine was a bit long, but mine's falling out a bit, so... yeah, it got a little bit hot, but I think that's part of finals football. You're on tenterhooks for a whole week. We'll be on it for 2 weeks now, and when you let things explode, and at times you do get out of hand, but I was very happy with the way the boys got their minds on the job. And the minds on the job, we want to win the game. That was all about, not evening up.
We've actually lost our light. I think someone's pulled the plug out, but we'll keep talking, Gary, because there are a couple of important questions I want to ask you. Fred Cook, I'm going to put it to him too. Was it the wind that upset Fred today, early in the game, or what?
You could ask Fred that. I don't know. I wanted him to get in front a bit more. And
come on in, Mr. Comedy.
I just thought at times when he did get front position, the umpires...
Sounds like he's pretty popular anyway.
Have given him a real good go this year, and I think I've been critical of him about the fact that I want him to play in front more. At times he did do that today, and I thought that he was treated unharshly and didn't get what he deserved. But I mean, it wasn't one of his best games, but I think that'll spur him on to in 2 weeks' time.
You're forgetting to handball to Shane Doyle, didn't you?
Yeah,
probably
more so.
The pressure of the game
behind.
Yeah, but I'm remembering the 15 where you didn't get in front, and you should have.
Well, Doyley's behind us at the moment. How do you feel about Doyley? As far as our commentators are concerned, he was one of the best players afield.
Well, I thought that Shane certainly gave us something in the third quarter. He really gave us something to kick to, took some great marks. Early on, I didn't think he was giving us enough, but he did come back. He was down a little bit and fought back, and full credit to him because that's a sign of a good player.
Gary, I think the good thing about Shane is that Shane's come up through your thirds, which is a really tremendous thing for Port Melbourne. That's correct. Is that right, Shane?
Yeah.
And how did you feel about today's game?
Oh, it was great. Great win. Great team effort.
And how do you like playing in front of this bloke?
It's all right.
We combine very well together. We've been serious 1 minute. That
You
Shane,
couldn't be serious for 1 minute?
Well, I'm trying to be now. But what Shane does try and do is get the ball down quickly. He wasn't early in the season.
Right.
And when he does mark the ball, he gets up and has a look downfield, and he gets it moving. And that's what good centre-half boys are all about. And Shane's just developing week after week, and who knows what the future holds for him. Has anybody mentioned Norm Gosling? He's taken the easy way out in hospital today. Norm, you're laying back in bed there, and all your mates are down here. Well, just so that you're here in the next couple of weeks. A young girl, Tracy, was badly burnt. She's sitting in the children's hospital, I think. Trace, we hope to see you in the preliminary final too, love. Just keep your chin up.
Good on you, Freddie. All right, well, look, we won't hold you boys up anymore. Congratulations on today's effort. As Gary said, congratulations also to Geelong West and Gary Hamer. It was a great effort for them to get there. And, well, can you go on with it from now? It's going to be hard from where you are.
Well, we're sitting back. We've got a 2 week, well, it won't be a rest. We'll be working pretty hard next week, but we'll have a look at the game. And I hope next encounter's a very, very hard one. And,
what about Peter Hall? I saw him behind there with that thigh injury.
He's got a cork thigh.
He'll be right?
Yeah.
You really need him, won't you?
Yeah, he'll be out in the track tomorrow running a few 200s, so he'll be all right. It's the best way to get rid of a corky.
Okay. All right, well, you've earned a drink, boys. We'll let you go and have that now. And thanks for a great game today and a great telecast put on by you blokes. Thank you very much. Good on you, Shane. Thanks, Fred. Well, Fred Cook
defeated Geelong West. The big match next week, of course, will be between Coburg and Preston here, the second semi-final. The coach of the Coburg side, Harold Martin. We've again enjoyed your company, Harold.
Pleasure.
Who do you think will win next week?
Coburg, of course.
All right, we've enjoyed your comments, and we hope we can get many more of them through the final series.
Yeah, thank you.
And Rex Hunt, for your first appearance in a football match on television, thanks very much for your help throughout the day.
It's been a pleasure and quite an experience, Phil, and thank you very much.
All right, we're looking forward to your comments next week. And Ian, your statistics, good as usual.
Oh, thanks very much. It was a great game, and I think Port once again have proved they're going to be a force this season in the finals.
Yes, well, if you can see the action of the cameramen behind the camera, it's being poured on a bit, so we better sign off for this afternoon, and we'll be back with you again at 1:45 next Sunday afternoon when Coburg meet Preston in the second semi-final.